Hey guys, Josh from SoccerReviewsForYou.com, bringing you a retro unboxing plus on-feet video of the Puma v1.06 in Kangaroo leather. Now just a quick reminder guys, if you enjoy the retro unboxing series on my channel, be sure to support this video with a like. A lot of time and effort as well as money goes into finding some of these older shoes for me to do the retro unboxing series. So again, if you want to continue seeing this series on my channel, be sure to support this video with a like. Now unfortunately I do not have the original red and white Puma box, but I'm sure some of you guys will forgive me for that. Fortunately though, I do have the original boot bag that these shoes came with. You can see it's black on black in color. It's a zipper style. You even have the Puma branding here on the, I guess, zipper ends. I'm not sure exactly what those would be called, the pull tabs if you will. So open up this bag, very high quality. Wish they still included this style of bag with their current shoes. Unfortunately they do not. I'll get the shoes out of the bag here and give you a look at those because that's what everybody is here for. And here is a look at the Kangaroo leather edition of the Puma v1.06. Now just to give you guys a little bit of backstory on the shoe itself, the v1.06, as the name suggests, came out originally in 2006, making this design, now that it is 2014, about 8 years old, which is kind of surprising considering that this still looks to be a very modern shoe. It uses materials that we still see very frequently with a carbon fiber sole plate, a very unique looking bladed stud pattern, and of course premium Kangaroo leather for the upper, and an upper style that is highly unusual and something that would be very unique even in today's soccer cleat market, just based on how the upper is shaped, where the laces are, and just the overall fit and shape of the boot itself. So for the most part, while the shoe is still 8 years old, it is still very, very modern. Now, what made the v1.06 kind of a unique shoe at the time of its release is that it was a lightweight shoe that implemented carbon fiber sole plate that was available in both synthetic and leather upper variations, which is something that is very common in today's market. While it wasn't the first shoe to implement a synthetic and leather upper variation, I believe the first one ever to do that was actually the Nike Mercurial Vapor 1 or 2, I'm not sure exactly which one it was, but you could get a limited run of Kangaroo leather versions of that Mercurial Vapor, which is kind of cool. I wish I could get my hands on a pair of those, but those are unfortunately extremely rare and very difficult to come by. But like I said, the v1.06 did implement this kind of business model, and that you did have the option to go for something a little bit more lightweight, a little bit thinner, more of a barefoot feel in the synthetic upper variation, which I do have a retro unboxing of, by the way. I'll leave an annotation on screen as well as a link in the description if you want to go ahead and check that out. Or you could opt for something a little bit more traditional in terms of feel with the Kangaroo leather upper variation, which is what I have here in my hands, and to me is one of the nicest Kangaroo leather soccer shoes that I've ever held. I actually would want to wear these. I'm not going to, most likely. If I ever do, I will get it on video for you guys, but I have to say that I'm extremely impressed with the quality of the leather on this particular shoe. I think visually the leather looks really good, but trust me, in hand, it is buttery soft and just very, very nice. Arguably a little bit nicer than what you're going to find on today's market. Of course, there are exceptions to what I just said there, but like I said, the quality of the leather here is just very, very good. In terms of the styling of the boot, like I said, it still does have a very modern look about it, even though the design is 8 years old. I'm personally a really big fan of how they did the branding on the shoe. Instead of printing it on top of the leather, you can see that all the branding is laser etched right into the upper. So you're going to find your branding on the outside, your Puma logo here on the instep, and then one more Puma logo laser etched here on the back of the heel, which to me just has a very premium look about it. And the styling is just so simple, but at the same time very, very effective. Now as far as the lacing system goes, this is really what makes the shoe so unique, in that it has a very unique shape and a very unique lacing system. The laces are pushed dramatically to the outside of the shoe, and they actually, when you tie them tight, fit very close together, which you guys will see in just a second when I actually put them on my feet. And there is no actual tongue. It's kind of just this little stretchy material, very, very thin, that is there just to kind of seal these two areas of the shoe so nothing's going to get inside of the boot like dirt or rocks or anything like that, depending on whatever type of playing surface you're playing on. But as far as the material itself goes, like I said, premium Kangaroo leather, which actually works very, very well with the shape of the shoe. It's one of the first shoes ever to implement Puma's anatomical last, or aptolast as they call it, where it comes to a bit of a point at the big toe and then curves around a little bit more dramatically than what you might find on a standard soccer shoe that normally has a rounded toe. Some people don't like this. This is something that Puma still implements in their kind of speed series of soccer shoes. It's something that I personally like the feel of, and once you give it a chance, I think most people would actually like it as well. It's just something that looks and feels a little bit awkward from right out of the box, so because of that, it's not quite as popular as perhaps Puma would like. But for the most part, like I said, it still is a very usable and very kind of well thought out type of implementation as far as fit goes for a soccer shoe. Now, as far as the back part of the shoe, you can see that it does have a lower cut in that this is a lightweight speed boot. The heel liner is all 100% suede with a nice amount of padding there. So again, while this is a lightweight shoe, it doesn't sacrifice comfort or quality, especially considering the high quality 100% kangaroo leather upper. There is no synthetic on this shoe whatsoever, which is something that is highly uncommon for any shoe nowadays. And I'm glad to see that Puma was at the time producing extremely high quality leather soccer shoes that really didn't skimp out on quality whatsoever. Now, in terms of the insole itself, I'll quickly remove that. Gives you a better idea of the overall shape of the shoe. Like I mentioned, it does come to a bit of a point at the big toe and then curves around. Offers actually quite a unique fit. It fits very closely to the foot. Again, it's not for everybody, but it's something that they were implementing and they're still implementing on their lightweight shoes. Your Puma branding in silver at the heel. You can see that the pattern is in a mesh material with kind of a blue and black camo, I guess you would call it, a grass camo maybe. Then it's just one single layer of perforated foam with a decent amount of padding, to be fair, while still maintaining a very low profile and lightweight feel. Now, moving on to the outsole of the shoe, you're going to find an external plastic heel counter that is fairly large. There are, of course, cutouts in the heel counter, so should you get kicked in between these plastic areas, you will feel most of that blow, considering there is no plastic behind there. This is something that they use to offer a very stable feel when the shoe is on your foot, but at the same time reduce extra weight by having these cutouts in the heel counter. It's something that, again, Puma still does to this day. So again, a technology that has stuck around over the years. And then moving on to the sole plate and stud pattern, this is arguably one of the more unique features on the shoe. In 2006, we saw that both the Puma v1.06 as well as the Nike Mercurial Vapor 3 start using carbon fiber in the sole plate construction of their shoes. The Puma v1.06 definitely used more carbon fiber in that it was all the way through the entire sole plate. Again, arguably ahead of its time, as Nike would several years later start implementing carbon fiber sole plates themselves. This carbon fiber sole plate is not 100% carbon fiber. There is a plastic layer on top as well as underneath. The carbon fiber layer is actually only 0.6 millimeters thin, but still does make for a very responsive feel. You can tell that it's not just a straight plastic sole plate. There is some type of a feedback due to the extra stiffness of that carbon fiber. It also did make for a slightly more lightweight feel to the sole plate itself. And then, of course, the stud pattern, as you guys can see, is very, very unique. You're going to find those studs in the heel that we don't see that much from Puma anymore. Obviously, the PowerCat 1.12 has something most similar to this, but it still is a little bit different. I personally like this stud pattern. It's very, very stable and provides plenty of kind of traction when you are slowing down and accelerating because of the angle of the bladed studs, which is kind of the opposite of what you would normally see. Then, of course, you're going to find all blades in the forefoot, 4 on either side, as you can see, with 2 studs that go right to the tip of the toe, kind of Mercurial-esque in terms of their design, so you have plenty of grip when pushing off and accelerating for a sprint. And then 2 offset support studs right in the middle of the sole plate. Again, fairly unique in terms of their positioning, but very effective when it comes to overall traction on natural grass playing surfaces. So that's pretty much it as far as all the tech specs and what you need to know about this particular shoe. And move on next to a quick weigh-in so you can see how lightweight these guys are. Instead of just weighing the v1.06K on its own, I thought it would be fun to compare the weight of the v1.06 to that of the EvoSpeed 1.2, which is obviously the current lightweight leather offering by Puma. So we're going to throw the v1.06 on the scale first. Keep in mind that these are both the exact same size, so this is a very fair comparison. And you can see that the v1.06K weighs in at exactly 8 ounces, which is pretty lightweight considering that this shoe is made from 100% high quality kangaroo leather, something that you might expect to find on a Copa or a Puma King. So great to have that on such a lightweight soccer shoe. So we'll take that off the scale. We'll throw on the EvoSpeed 1.2 in leather, and you can see that these guys weigh in at 8.15 ounces. So 0.15 ounces more than the v1.06K. Not a significant amount of weight, not even a noticeable amount of weight, either in hand or on feet, but it's kind of interesting to see how leather soccer shoes for the most part, as light as you want to make them. If you're going to make the entire upper made from leather, like Puma has done with both of these shoes, more often than not, you're going to end up at that 8-ounce weight range. So that's pretty much it as far as the weigh-in portion of this video goes. And I'll move on next to a quick on feet so you can get a better idea as to how these shoes fit. Alright, here's a look at the V106Ks on feet. And I have to say, after wearing the shoes for a couple of minutes, playing around with the ball a little bit just in my house here, I'm really impressed by this particular design from Puma. They've managed to make a shoe that fits very, very well, has a lacing system that is pushed so far to the outside to the point where it's almost completely unnoticeable on your feet. And in terms of having the ultimate kangaroo leather feel for the ball, and that no part of your foot is obstructed with any kind of laces or anything like that, there really isn't another shoe that comes to mind that is going to offer a more premium and more clean type of kangaroo leather touch on the ball than the V106K, which is kind of a pretty big statement to make. In terms of the fit of the shoe, they're very comfortable from right out of the box. It's not a particularly tight-fitting shoe, even though it may appear to have a very low profile about it. Probably the most significant thing that most people will notice when they put this shoe on is the quality of the kangaroo leather. It's very soft and flexible from right out of the box, and I'm sure will stretch and form to the exact shape of your foot. As mentioned earlier, it does feature Puma's Outsole lash shaping, which does come to a bit of a point at the big toe, which also has an impact on the sizing of this shoe. Like most of Puma's speed boots, even nowadays, they run a little bit small. So instead of wearing a size 9 US, I had to go a whole size up to a size 10 for the proper fit. And my toes are now right at the end. So again, if you do come across a pair of V106s and want to order some for yourself, I would personally recommend going a full size up for the most comfortable fit. But that's pretty much it as far as the on-feet portion of this video, and I'll leave you to my final thoughts. Alright guys, that's it for my retro unboxing of the Puma V106K. I think that from a design standpoint, there really aren't many shoes that can match the visual impact that this particular shoe has. It's one of the most unique shoes ever made. The quality of the kangaroo leather in combination with the form factor and lacing system works tremendously well. It's one of the first shoes ever to incorporate a full carbon fiber sole plate, and the stud pattern, while it may appear to be very unusual, actually performs very, very well. So if you guys are interested in checking out other retro unboxings that I've made, I'll leave some annotations on screen to a couple of ones that I find particularly interesting. If you have any questions regarding this shoe, feel free to leave a comment down below. And of course, if you enjoyed today's video, be sure to support it with a like. Subscribe if you haven't already for daily videos on all the latest soccer gear. You can find all of my social media information down below in the description. And other than that, guys, hope you enjoyed today's video. And as always, thanks for watching.